beautiful pearls. How are you? I hope you had a good weekend. I always start my Monday lives by asking and checking on you and seeing if you've had a good weekend. I had a very relaxing one actually, except Saturday night. Um, I did a lot of reading and I discovered a very interesting way of reading. I'm a very slow reader, don't tell anyone. So I discovered reading and listening to the ebook at the same time. So it's like double the information in your mind. Quite interesting. I think everybody should try it. It's very nice. At least for me, it was very helpful. So this is how mainly I spent my weekend. I did some personal uh, work around the house, some personal hygiene, some personal, not hygiene, I like to call it pampering. So I pampered myself over the weekend. And I think every person should have, or not should, I don't like to use this word, but maybe choosing to take care of ourselves is something that is very important. And I believe that um, I personally choose to do it all the time and take care of myself and pamper myself every now and then. Especially in this hectic world that we live in, with all the information that we get, with all the hectic lifestyle that we live, it's important to take a breather and take some time for yourself and choose to give yourself a break. Right? I would highly recommend that people do that. So that's exactly what I did for the weekend. I know lots of people would like to do that by, I don't know, going to the beach, going to nature. And nature is very important. And lately I love being around nature. And I have my dog to thank for that, because he keeps me going out all day long, so I don't stay at home all the time, which is important and very good. Having said that, what I did this week is something that I am now able to do. Like previously, I used to feel that the energy in my house, although it was very good, and everybody who came to my house would always tell me that, I have this nice energetic vibe in my house, but to me it always felt that there is something that's not right. There's something that's not working there. And when I started working on myself and I started my awakening journey and I started learning about limiting beliefs and learning about the things that I've had in my subconscious mind, in my heritage, in my lineage, that I did not know before, that I did not know about before, how these things that I had were actually limiting me and were making me have like some sort of a pause in my life, like a pause by pausing, and I mean like a stop sign, or limiting me basically. And I always wondered, why is it that I keep on sometimes procrastinating, sometimes moving things around and not understanding why I'm doing that. And by things I mean physical, and I mean also my schedules, my work, my time. So everything was always like messy, if I can say. And then when I started working on myself, I realized that there are lots of beliefs that had been built in my personality and in my life that are limiting me and are causing me to feel the way that I was feeling. And one of the things that I discovered, and this has made a huge shift for me in my life, is how much the things that we own and the things that we have around us, and I'm talking here literally about physical things, right? How much these things actually affect our life, and they kind of either lift us or bring us down. So this is the main topic of this live today. This live is going to be talking mainly about how the space how our space reflects our own limiting beliefs, and how when we look around us in our space we can see that we have limiting beliefs. The most famous one, or the most common one, is one limiting belief that a lot of people have and a lot of people struggle with, actually, especially people who come from a similar background that I came from. For example, like I come from a country that, like, I was born literally when the war started in my country. So I don't know why, but my soul decided to come to this earth in that country on that very specific time. And I came into this world in a country that was always in war, and unfortunately still is, but in a different kind of war now. But before, it was like literally war with guns and bombs and everything, what have you, all of the things that you can think of when it comes to war, unfortunately. So having been brought up in that kind of a space or a place, there's one thing that people always face when they are living in such a surrounding. Not face, they always tend to do, basically. And this is making sure that they always have everything that they need for their survival, just because nobody knows when things could happen, when, like, the bombs will start falling, when the war is going to kick off, you know. So people in those countries or in those areas, they always tend to keep everything handy, and they always tend to keep everything that they own there. And they not just keep everything that they own, they tend to bring even more and more and more stuff into their space, just because they don't know when they might need the things that they have. So I was born in that space. I was born in that era, in that time. And my mom was always making sure that we have everything that we needed in order for us to survive if anything happens. So this is, I believe this is how it started. Because of this, I don't think it's correct, but maybe. If this is how it started, I would think that, you know, my mother was doing the best that she could with what she had at the time she had in her hands, right? So she would always keep things ready for us to make sure that we go through the time without needing anything, or without getting, you know, without losing anything, or without missing on anything, right, in our life as kids, and even for them as grown-ups at that time. So this is why she would have always, like, if you, let's say today you buy one soap, right, just to wash your hands, instead of her buying one piece of soap, she would like buy a dozen, right? Just because she never knows when things could happen. And the same applies to everything else. So instead of having one item per item or one quantity per item, everything would be multiplied by 12 or 20 or 24 even. And before you know it, the space that we would be occupying as people would shrink and shrink and shrink, and we would become like so little in that huge space that is filled with stuff, right? Now, this stuff, at one point in time, we might have needed it. And at one point in time, we might have not needed it. So a lot of it that was not used, instead of my mother, instead of like giving it away later on or, use it, she would just keep it here, there, everywhere, like somewhere. Whenever you go in the house, you would find things that are not used or stuff that is there that she doesn't even remember why she has them or why she brought them in the first place. This is something that is very common in a culture or a place where you are born with war around you and with uncertainty and with insecurities. So people start hoarding, right? This is what we call hoarding. Now, hoarding is related to so many things. One of them is the situation that I have just gone through, the fact of being or living in a place where war can ignite at any given moment in time. But also, hoarding comes from something else. Hoarding comes from a limiting belief, which is mainly feeling always in lack, feeling like there's always something missing for us, feeling like we don't always have things, we don't always have it all, and we want to have things and we want to own things. And this ownership requirement, like this passion to own things, does not come from the fact of being abundant. It actually comes from the fact of feeling in lack all the time. And this is why we believe that because we don't know if we are going to use this or if we are going to need this at one given point in time, we are always coming from lack. We are always coming from wondering, from the what if. What if I want it, or what if I need it? And then we start accumulating things without even realizing that we are doing that. Most people who are hoarders don't even know that they are doing that. They don't even know that they come from lack or that they have this issue in their life. This is one of the things that make us hoard things and that make us I don't want to say collect, because collectibles or people who collect things it's a different thing. Collecting comes from having that passion for collecting things, and it's not, at one point in time it can become hoarding. Actually, if you really start collecting more than you should, and like, always ask yourself, why am I collecting this? What is it that I get from having this kind of a collection? What's the feeling that I get? What is my intention from collecting all of this? Whether it's like even coins, some people collect the tickets, game tickets. Some people collect mugs. I mean, I used to collect mugs. I used to collect those travel mugs. I still have them, not all of them. You get to a point where you start asking yourself, why did I start doing this in the first place? What was my intention from doing this? Where did I want this to go? And then when you start asking these questions, you start understanding that, do I really need this? What is it with me that keeps me thinking that I want this in my life or I desire this in my life. So this is the first question that you can ask yourself, and then you start understanding what your space is all about. And you start understanding how your space reflects your own limitations and your own limiting beliefs. Another thing that can cause you to hoard is feeling that, I don't like to say like you don't like yourself or that you, but yes, this low self-esteem or how you how you appreciate yourself. What is your self-worth? You know, if my self-worth is related to material stuff, I will be collecting a lot of material stuff. I will be like the most materialistic person on earth, and I will have everything materialistic around me, surrounding me, if my self-worth is related to material and material only. And then this limiting belief of thinking less of who you are, or not loving yourself enough, or not appreciating who you are enough, you start thinking that owning things will make you feel better about yourself, or will make you elevate your vibration, or will make you elevate your energy. But remember, everything is made up of energy, right? Everything is energy. Everything has a vibration. The only difference between a thing's vibration and the other is how high or how low the vibration is. And objects have the lowest vibrations possible. And that's why they are solid. And the more you put objects in your space, the lower you are making the vibration of your space, and the lower you are making the energy of your space. So let's say if I go inside my house, and however I move around, there are objects around me, how do you think my energy would feel? I would feel like this, right? I would feel like there's no space for me. There's no space for my own aura, for my own energy. And being in such a space will limit me and will make me go in a lower vibration. And this is why it's very, very, very important to know how to organize your space and how to make your space, the space itself, be in a higher vibration. I didn't do this exercise a long time ago, but I tell you, this was a major shift for me in my life, and it really, really changed the way I look at things, the way I look at my space, the way I cherish my space, and I respect my space, and I love my space. And I tell you, the less clutter I had around me, the more energy I felt in the house. The more, like, I even changed the lights so that I can have a more elevated vibration in the house. I feel like now when I go into my house, I even painted the walls in white, like pure white, not off-white, pure white, so that when I go into my space, it's a welcoming space. It's an open space. It's a space that is full of positive vibration, and it's so, like, it's vibrating really high. You know, you go in and you can, like, if you do this, wow, it's like you're even, it's not like you're sitting inside a house, it's like literally you're sitting outside in the nature. And I can feel this change. I felt this change the minute I started doing my decluttering. I did not even finish my decluttering, that like I started feeling this higher vibration the minute I took the decision that, you know what, I choose to change how my life is going to be by starting with my own space. And this was my starting point. This was where I felt the major difference. Going back to hoarding and why people do that. If you look at the people who hoard, or if you look at the people who hoard, like, think about it this way. What is it that they are lacking in their lives? Okay, or if you are a hoarder, think about it. What is it that you are lacking in your life that makes you want to possess so many things and to keep so many things around you? Where are you not satisfied in your life? Where are you not secure in your life? What kind of security is hoarding bringing you? What kind of satisfaction is hoarding bringing you? Ask yourself these questions and try to know or to find out the answers for these questions. These questions, these answers will tell you a lot about where you are limiting yourself, and they will tell you a lot about how you can move from hoarding to decluttering, to having a decluttered space, to having an energetic space, a positively energetic space. Where do you think you are not safe, that you are bringing safety to yourself by hoarding your own space and your own environment, by cluttering your own space and your own environment? Do you feel abundant? If you feel abundant, why do you need so much clutter? Why do you need so many things? If you feel abundant, everything will come to you. In due time, in due course. You don't need to have everything around you if you are really feeling abundant. So think about it. If you're coming from lack, certainly you're not feeling abundant, right? The minute you start feeling abundant, that lack feeling is gone. You don't have it anymore. And there is a way to get over it. And many ways can be related to digging and understanding your limiting beliefs. Yes, that's very true. You can do that. And you can also start by clearing your space, by decluttering your space, by decluttering where you spend most of your time, by opening that space for more energy, for more abundance, for more things to come into your life. It's like, literally, it's like you inviting people over, but then when they come, they don't even have a place to sit. So it's the same, like, think of abundance in the same way. Like, I want things to happen to me in my life, and I want things to come to me in my life, but my life is so full, there's no space for anything in my life. So you start from that point and you think from that point. Does my space reflect my intentions of abundance? Does my space reflect my intentions of receiving? How can I receive if there is no space for me to receive anything? The same way I cannot receive my friends. How can I receive into my life if I don't even have space within me to accept the things that the universe is going to give me? So by starting this decluttering exercise and this decluttering process, I am already telling the universe that I am ready. I am ready to receive. I am ready to get what is in store for me. I'm ready to accept and acknowledge and appreciate the things that are in store for me and the things that are coming my way. So that's one thing that is very important about decluttering. When you declutter your space, you are making room for the new. You are making room for the important things that the universe has in store for you, that you deserve, that you have the divine right to own and to receive. So start by asking yourself, how does my space look to me? Does it look open enough? Does it look inviting? Is it telling the universe, here I am, give me what I deserve? Or is it telling the universe, I'm sorry, there's no space here for anything else except what I have already put in here by choice or not by choice? So become aware of the things that you have around you. Become aware of what is missing. Become aware of what you have so much of. And start by doing this process. Start by understanding how much these things are taking away from your own energy, from your own space. And understand why you brought them into your life in the first place. Is it because of lack? Why do you feel that lack? Where do you feel that lack? And start working on that. And start decluttering as well. You can do the two in parallel. You can start with one and then do the other, or you can start with the second one, which is the decluttering, and then work on your belief. But I recommend you choose to start somewhere, right? And knowing that you can do this change, knowing that you have all the power to do this change. Everything is within the grasp of your own hand. If you stick to the things that you know, the things that you always do, and always expect to get, different results, it's never going to happen, right? It's like what Einstein said, right? It's the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, different outcomes. You cannot expect a different outcome when you keep on doing the same thing. When you hoard and when you keep things invading your space and limiting your space, just like limiting beliefs limit your development, they limit your life, they limit your dreams. Hoarding does the same thing, because it's, to start with, coming from the limiting belief of lack, the limiting belief of self-worth. I'm not worthy, I don't deserve things. Cancel that. I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about the people who still are struggling with this. I used to be like that. I did not even know I was hoarding. Believe me, when I did that exercise, the things that I had to give away, or that I not had to, I chose to give away everything. One day I will share pictures with you and you will see how much I got rid of and how my space is now completely different. I feel like I can breathe. Before, I used to feel like I cannot breathe. And I think I told you this before. For people who have watched my previous lives, I think I have mentioned this before about getting this from my mom, because I mean, my mom, God bless her, she's a major hoarder. She's a major hoarder. And every time I go to visit them, I feel like there's so much energy that is being sucked out of my own energy just by the fact of entering into their house. And this is a big thing. If I am not living there, if I'm just, going there for a couple of days and I feel like that and I feel this way and I feel like my energy is depleted, how do they feel? They live in that space. They've been living in that space for decades. I mean, no wonder they are always on the edge. They are always feeling down. They are always feeling in lack. They are always talking about lack, and they are always feeling like victims, both my mom and my dad, because they live in that space, and that space is surrounding them and it's sucking the energy out of them. And the more and they don't even realize it. This is the trickiest part, that they don't even realize it. I mean, earlier this year, when I went to my hometown to visit them, and my dad was not feeling very well, we had to move things around so that he can move around freely, so that he stops having like some sort of, he was a little bit delusional because of his sickness then. And my mom was like, no, this is my space, you cannot do that. And she doesn't even realize how much this space is keeping her in that negative energy, that victimizing mood that she's always in. I cannot say more than God bless her, because she doesn't know better. She did what she could with what she had in the times when she had to do this, but she doesn't have to do it anymore. So it's actually realizing that you are no longer in that lack. And if you've worked on your lack and you're still hoarding, there's still something that's not working. If you've worked on your lack, or on that limiting belief that you are coming from lack, then declutter is the simplest exercise that you're going to be going through. You're going to feel like you want to do it, and you're going to do it without thinking about it twice. And the minute that you decide to do it, you will feel good about yourself, and you will start feeling that the energy is already shifting in your space. And you will do it in a way that, decluttering doesn't, like, there are people who declutter every 6 months or every year once. There's no need for that to happen. When you declutter in the right way, you shouldn't be repeating this exercise. You do it once, and then your brain shifts in how you own things, in how you buy things, in how you prioritize things that you want to keep or that you want to own in your life. Like when I did that exercise, my my shopping habits completely changed. I stopped shopping for things that I had no need for. And even if I need something, I would think about it not coming from lack. It's not about whether I can pay for it or not. That's not what was happening in my mind. My mind was thinking, do I need it? Does it serve me? Does it help my space? Does it help my energy? Does it elevate my vibration? Does it make me feel better? Does it make me look better? Or am I buying things just for the sake of buying them? because I used to buy things just for the sake of buying them before. And I used to collect things just for the sake of collecting them, with no reason whatsoever. And with no need for them whatsoever. So when you start doing this exercise, you start asking all these questions. Do I need this? Why do I have this in my life? Why is this even here? What benefit does it give me? Even when you reach like the sentimental things that you own, like for example, all the pictures that you have that you've kept from when you were kids, or the pictures that you have for your kids if you are married and you have kids, the clothes that you have kept for your baby girl or baby boy when they were born and they are now like in their 30s or 40s, and yet you still have those sentimental memories, right? Visit those. See what do they tell you. See why you still keep them. Understand why you still keep them. And if you find a beneficial reason to keep them in your life, keep them, right? And if you don't find any benefit from keeping them in your life, know that they are draining your energy. Know that their presence in your space are only limiting your space and are only blocking your space from that receiving energy, from that magnetic energy of bringing new things into your life and bringing new belongings even, you know? It's interesting when you start doing this exercise, how you start seeing how much things that you own that really have no reason for being in your space. No reason whatsoever. Start thinking about this and start doing this exercise just for the sake of knowing if you really own things that you need or that you desire or that are required for your life to move forward. You know, sometimes we have things that literally stop us from moving forward, that literally block our own energy. I'll tell you, if I just share with you pictures, and one day I will, of how my bedroom looked before I did my decluttering exercise, and remember, I did my decluttering exercise after I worked on my limiting beliefs, because if I hadn't worked on my limiting beliefs then, the decluttering exercise would have happened, but I would have cluttered even more after finishing. But today, every time I want to keep something, I ask myself like a million questions before I decide whether to keep it or not. And most of the time, I don't keep it. Like 99.99% of the time, I do not keep the thing that I question my mind whether I keep it or not. And there are so many other things that I don't even ask the question if I should keep them or not. You know, I just don't keep. But my bedroom, going back to my bedroom and how it looked, and I am sure a lot of people can relate. A lot of people watching this live now can relate to this. Listen to this. So in my bedroom, I had in the past tense, 2 big cupboards, 1 big dresser, 1 smaller dresser, 1 cupboard for my endless number of shoes. Hi, Lucky. Shh. Thank you. Good boy. And 1 cupboard for my bags. So, did you count? 2 big cupboards. Like big, and by big I mean one is like 3 meters wide and one is 2.5 meters wide. I don't know how they were fitting in my bedroom, I tell you. One big dresser, one small cupboard, like 1 meter wide, for my shoes, and one small dresser, 5, and one like a shelf unit for my bags. Okay, it's actually here now. I changed its place, and now it's become my bookshelf and my altar. Okay, so six or seven things, right? Plus my bed. And under my bed there are big drawers. Every single space in those 7 things I have just mentioned was filled with stuff. I'm saying stuff because really a lot of it was just stuff that I did not need, that I never used, but that was lying there. And this stuff was literally sucking the energy out of me every night I went to bed. And I tell you, I started my decluttering from my bedroom. That was the first thing I decluttered. Okay, there's a very specific way, by the way, that decluttering should happen in order for it to happen once and for all, and in order for it to have the right results. But this is something that I will share later. Anyway, I started the decluttering process. The reason I'm sharing this with you is just to show you how important decluttering is and what the results are of decluttering. And we're talking about our home space, right? So that day I started the decluttering process. It took, by the way, at least 2 or 3 days. But that first day, the minute I started, that first night, I still had almost everything lying around, but I had separated things and decided, okay, this is going, this is staying, Even at that very beginning of the process, I was already feeling lighter. My energy was already vibrating higher. That first night, I slept better than I had slept for years in my bedroom. And I've been living in this house for 12 years. So you can imagine, this is the result of 12 years. And I used to declutter. I used to do the decluttering, the clothes decluttering every 6 months or when the season changed, right? Now I don't do this anymore because everything is there in one place for all the seasons. And if I tell you what I have today in my bedroom, so out of those 7, today I have 1 closet, 1 big dresser, and 1 small dresser. Out of 7, I have only 3 units that are holding everything that I own when it comes to clothes, shoes, and bags. And even like the bed liners and all of this stuff, So I used, for example, the drawers under my bed to put the bed, to put the extra pillows that I have, or the extra bed covers, right? So the minute I did that, and when I finished the process, I tell you, since then, I enjoy staying in my bedroom. I enjoy sitting in my bed, lying in my bed, reading a book, watching something, on the internet, going through my Facebook posts, or going through my Facebook chats, or just sitting there, just lying there, meditating. I meditate in my bedroom every morning and every night before I go to bed, before I sleep. So this now space has become so sacred to me, and it has become this high vibrational space, this high energetic space that I look around, and I also painted the walls in white. So I look around today in my bedroom, at my bedroom, and I love it. I mean, it's right facing me right there, so I can see it, and I enjoy looking at it. My friend came to me the other day, and she hadn't visited me since I've done the decluttering exercise. And the minute she went into from the door, she's like, "Oh my God, I love it! It's so open." Although, believe me, again, I tell you, compared to my mom, I really don't clutter. I really don't. I really don't. And yet I found, like, I got 17 bags of unneeded, unused, unwanted stuff from my bedroom only. From the things that should be in the bedroom only. And a lot of it was not in the bedroom, by the way. A lot of it was lying around somewhere in the house, or maybe in the storeroom, you know. Things that should be in the bedroom were not even in the bedroom. They were lying elsewhere because of the abundance of the stuff. And this abundance is not like the abundance that we all want, you know, but the high quantity, if you want. The high quantity of stuff that I had that I did not really need, okay? Versus the space that I have to put this stuff. Versus the space that I own, that I have basically in my house, you know. So when I did this exercise, everything became brighter, lighter, more inviting, and more, like, how do I say it, holistic. Holistic is the perfect word for this. So I tell you, if you are looking, and another thing that changed for me, it's very, very important, very important. Things started falling in place in my life when I did this exercise. And this is why this thing, decluttering, is a major, major thing, major topic in the program that I'm working on, in the program that I have, that's going to be going online soon. Decluttering, and how you can do it, and how powerful it is one of the major topics in my program. And I have a lot of insights on, I'm sharing a lot of insights on the way you can do it, and the best way to do it, and the most beneficial way to declutter, right? So, but just so you know, the minute you do this exercise, your life changes. The same way your life changes, and it's all like, I like to think about it like as a a small snowball, right? You start rolling on the snow, and then it becomes this huge, huge, huge ball. This is how working on yourself is. This is how, when you start working on your inner discovery, when you start doing the work on your limiting beliefs, when you start understanding what are your limiting beliefs, and you start removing them and changing them and replacing them with better programs and better beliefs that serve you in your life, in your current life, in your current existence. Don't get me wrong. Remember, a lot of the things that you have, or a lot of the ways that you have led your life with so far, have served you at one given point in time. The question is, do they still serve you? Are they still serving you? If they are, then there's no need to change them because they are still there for a reason. They are still serving you. But if they're not serving you anymore, ask yourself, why do I keep them? Why should I keep them? Why do I want to keep them? Or do I even want to keep them? I mean, ask yourself these questions. Ask yourselves if what you have around you or within you is actually serving you. Is it elevating your life? Is it making your life better, or is it bringing it down, or is it bringing you down? Then when you start asking yourself these questions and getting the answers that are going to serve you or that are going to help you understand what's the next step, then you start knowing what the next step is and you start taking those next steps. Slowly but surely, as I always say. The minute you start getting that buzz in your mind that this is something I can change and this is something that will be beneficial for me if I change, then you start taking those decisions towards that change, towards that different life that you want for yourself, that better life that you want for yourself, that champion life that you want. Because you are that champion and you would want to lead your life into that championship, and you would want to lead yourself into that championship and become the owner of your decisions, the owner of your beliefs, the owner of your space, the owner of your thoughts, your words, the owner of everything. You are that owner. And you are the one who gives the orders to your mind, to your body, to your emotions, to your feelings. Remember, everything is yours to own and yours to take ownership of, because you already have them. A lot of people just are still not aware that they are the owners, that they are the decision makers, that they are the ones giving the orders. But a lot of these orders have become so innate in our mind, so not innate, so engraved in our mind because of the repetition that we've been doing over and over and over again throughout our 20, 30, 40 years of life, that they've become like something that is just that we do without even thinking. Like even hoarding, we keep things without even understanding why we are keeping them. We just keep them, you know? For me, for example, I collect fridge magnets from the places I have been to in the world. But I make it like, I made it like a beautiful masterpiece that I have on the wall as you go into my house. So the first thing that you see is this masterpiece filled with fridge magnets from all over the world. I do collect them, but they mean something to me and they are beautiful to look at. It's not like, and they have an interesting vibration to them. I look at them and I feel the vibrations of every city I have been to that is hanging on those. I have good memories. It raises something in me that is positive, that is energetic. So yes, I keep them. Anything else that is lowering my vibration, I let go of. It's a simple equation. It's a very simple equation. Does it lift my vibration? Does it make me feel better? Yes, I keep. No, I leave. I let go of. And believe me, think about it this way. If you are keeping everything to yourself, then there's no space for others to give you, because you're not giving yourself. So if you think about it from this perspective, right? A lot of people have different ways of thinking of things. So I'm giving you the different aspects and the different perspectives that you can think about it. So think about it from this perspective. If I always keep everything to myself, like what energy am I doing? What energy am I giving? I feel like just by saying this, I feel like I'm greedy, which I'm not. So I'm not that person. And maybe you are not that person, but just by thinking this way, this is the energy that you are giving to the universe, to the outside world, to your friends, to your peers, to the people around you. Is this the energy that you want to give out? Is this the energy that you want people to feel in you? Is this the energy that you want to the universe, that you want to meet the universe with? Or you want the universe to see a different energy about you, a more of a receiving energy, just because you are open to receiving and because you don't give so much power to the things that are around you. They become more powerful than you. They become more powerful in your space than you are powerful in your space. So think about it. Is this the energy that you want to give? Or you want to give an energy of abundance, an energy of welcoming, an energy of, I am ready to receive whatever you have to give me, whatever I deserve, and I know I deserve a lot. I deserve so much. So by doing this exercise and by starting from there, you are already giving this, you're already becoming that magnet. You're already giving that vibration of a high magnetism, if you want, right? You are already telling the universe, give me, I'm ready to receive. And I'm here to receive, and I know I deserve it. So having said that, before I go, I want to show you, because I can. This is, you see this? Right. So this was my bag's shelves. It's now my bookshelf, my altar, and I have a plant on top. This is Clarissa, my plant. Okay, so as you can see, I made use of things. I used them in a different way, and now my space is talking to me in a different way, is talking to the energy around me in a different way, and my energy is also different. My energy is also more vibrating, and it's more elevated. So I urge you to think about what can be done to your space to uplift your own energy by uplifting your space energy. Start with that and see where it goes. And I promise you that one thing that you will feel is, the number one thing that you will feel is like this relaxation mode and this relaxation state of mind. Right? Try it and, let me know. Let me know. Try it and let me know what happens. Tell me, Maysoon, we did this and this is how we feel. Whether it was a positive outcome or a negative outcome, I would like to know, because this would be interesting for even me to explore with you. I did the exercise, it worked, it made perfect sense to me, and it did miracles to me, and it changed my life, I tell you. Everything, like I said, started falling in place for me when I finished this exercise. And it took a while. It didn't take like a day or two. It took a while. I'm not going to say how much, okay? But then when I finished, everything became more amazing. Everything had just lifted up you know, the whole house lifted up. It's like now I'm floating, okay? And I will tell you one day how much this exercise helped me soon enough. And I will show you the results soon enough. And I hope to see some of your results as well. And with that, I'm gonna say ciao ciao and see you next week.